Hey, it's Robin Lavasser. Welcome to Mom Boss Monday. I had a dear friend the other day say to me out loud, and I always search for like inspiration for these Mom Boss Mondays. You know, what am I going to say and what story am I going to tell? And it's interesting. It just has kind of been coming to me little by little, memories of when the kids were little and then all the way through, current date. And I had a dear friend of mine slash mentor say to me the other day, Robin, what is the most important to you, to be important or to make money? I thought, what kind of statement is that? What kind of question is that? But if you really think about it, it feels good to be important. And so how do we want to be important? When the kids are little, you want to be important by, being a mom that maybe runs the whole PTO. You want to be important by being the volunteer in the classroom. You want to be important by being on every field trip, or maybe being the mom that signs up to coordinate all the snacks for the soccer team. Maybe you coach the soccer team. That was me. I was coaching that soccer team. As they get older, you want to be important with other activities, or maybe you're asked to be on a nonprofit committee that's really near and dear to your heart. Maybe it's something you get to represent and be the president of and take all these things on. Here's what I know. A very dear friend of mine also said to me, you can only be really good and really engaged with about 3 things at one time in your life. Now, that doesn't mean that other things don't exist and that they're not on your plate, but about 3 things on your plate at any given time is what you can give all of yourself to. Really engage in it, right? I'm not a great golfer. If I wanted to become a great golfer, I'd need to become somewhat consumed with it. In order to do that, something would have to come off my plate that's a top priority right now to engage myself in the golf, right? Otherwise, it's a fun little extracurricular hobby. It's interesting. I thought 3 things. I could do more than 3 things. We all think that, right? But if you're really honest with yourself, 3 things is really about all that we can give to 100%. And so I had to make some choices, right? I had to choose that work was one of the things that I had to give 100% to. My children, family, right? All of those things were something that I had to give 100% to. The thing that I struggle giving 100% to is myself. Right? We always kind of cut that out. So over the years, I've been asked so many times, do you want to be on this committee? You'd be great to partake in this, all these things. And my answer immediately, 1, because I'm a people pleaser, but 2, it feels good to be important, is yes. And then the overwhelm sets in, and I realize that people aren't getting the best of me, they're getting the rest of me. And when you do that, you're giving everybody the rest of you. Not one thing on your plate, everything on your plate. So your kids are getting the rest of you, your husband's getting the rest of you, yourself is getting the rest of you. The project you signed up for that you were so gung-ho for is getting the rest of you. Don't be afraid to limit the number of items on your plate. Don't be afraid to say, and this sounds like money's such a taboo topic, right? Like, oh, you must be greedy if you say that it's more important to me to make money than it is to be important, right? And what that means is, hey, if I have to do a job 40 hours a week and I have to be a mom and a wife, do I have time to then engage in a committee that needs me 20 hours a week in addition to that, but is not supporting our household financially and also taking the best of me away from giving to my other top priorities? Does that make sense? So it's something that I really had to learn to balance. My future plans are, as the kids have grown independent and are really getting out of the house, which is so close for us, then I can give something else more of me, right? I'll be able to pour back in. I'll be able to get on that nonprofit that I've always wanted to be part of and really give the best of me to it. Don't be afraid sometimes to not be the mom that's running the PTO. Maybe you get to show up for a meeting or 2. Maybe you simply write a check to donate to what they need financially, rather than be the one to chase down all the donations, right? Maybe that's who you are. Anything that you can give is helpful. Don't think it always has to be time. Make sure that you're well balanced on your plate, able to say no, and that you are putting the number 1 priorities of what helps your family, both financially and emotionally, first, and then adding that 3rd piece to your plate. That's Mom Boss Monday for this week.